Hello and welcome to a new series on my channel for the upcoming National Hunt season. It's my 2023 conditional jockeys to follow for the jump season. Now, it feels like only yesterday I was at Newmarket in May, at the start of May, for the Guineas Festival. Fast forward 4 months practically now into all September at the time of recording this, and the jump season's almost upon us. We've got the Chepstow Curtain Racer coming up in a couple of weeks' time as well, before we roll into Cheltenham for the showcase meeting and all that fantastic top class racing in the run up to Christmas and also in the new year beyond in the build up to the festival. So, what I'm doing today is for people who are familiar with what happened during the course of the summer months with the apprentice angle, it's pretty simple. At the start of every season now, I go through a series of top young talents who I think will be making a big splash over the upcoming winter months. I'll be giving my title prediction and also some good £7 claimers to note. Ones who are not established as of yet, but ones who I think will have a very good season this year as well. And they're ones to put in your notebook who I think will be there, will be popping up over the course of the winter with some decent races or winning some decent races and accumulating plenty of winners as well. So, without further ado, we'll start off by reflecting upon the championship so far, anyway. And it's been to describe it in one word, it's been tight. I say it's been a fairly tight championship so far. It started off, of course, a week after the culmination of the previous season. Bradley Harris, at the time of recording, is currently top of the championship. He leads the way with 15 winners, operating at a 22% strike rate. Very good for Brad so far this season. Liam Harrison down in second place at the moment with 11 winners. Bo Morgan in third with 10 winners. Toby Wynn down in fourth with 9 winners. And Patrick Wodge in fifth with 7 winners. Now, starting things off with my first young jockey to watch. It is, of course, the title leader at the moment, leading the Sula race at the moment. It's Bradley Harris. He's attached to the Milton Harris yard. I must make it clear, though, there's no relation at all between Bradley and Milton. That will probably be asked quite a few times over the course of the season, but there's no relation at all between trainer and conditional jockey. Bradley was formerly an apprentice on the flat with Andrew Balding. A successful one as well, had a couple of winners on the flat as well, but weight, like most jockeys who switch codes, was the deciding factor in why Bradley turned to the National Hunt sphere. And he hasn't looked back since. He joined up with Milton a couple of seasons ago, and last season was very much a successful season. Rode out his £7 claim towards the back end of last season. Ian Popham is Bradley's agent, and Ian's a super agent in terms of what he does and how he deals with a large number of jockeys on his books is quite remarkable, really. Bradley's definitely benefited from some superb management from Ian, and Bradley's very much on course to be there or thereabouts over the course of the season in terms of winning the championship. He's fantastic in the finish, very strong in the finish, makes a lovely shape over an obstacle, got good hands as well. So as you'd expect with an apprentice formerly with Andrew Balding, who had that successful grounding, that good grounding down at Kingsclear as well. But Bradley's going to be hard to stop over the course of the winter months. And I can imagine once Milton's winter horses slowly come back into the fold, that will only add to the ammunition that Bradley's currently got as well. And I can see him adding to those winners and at least getting 30 winners so far, or adding to another 15 to his 15 winners so far this season and potentially ending the season with 30 plus. He's the one to be shot at. I think he's going to be hard to stop. But Bradley, for me, is very much another young talent to keep on the right side of over the course of the winter months. My title prediction, though, comes in the shape of a jockey who is the younger brother of the reigning champion conditional jockey. It's Bo Morgan, of course, younger brother to reigning champion conditional jockey Luca Morgan. Bo's had a fantastic start to his season, as we mentioned before, with 10 winners. Most notably, his biggest winner to date was with a Ball Twig in the Summer Cup at Uttoxeter a couple of months ago now. Twig and Bo, I can remember almost 2 years ago now, winning point to points. And they've both sort of risen together. It's been a fantastic story, owned by Luca and Bo's mum, Georgia Morgan, as well. It's been a superb story. And Twig's actually one of my horses to follow over the course of the season, especially on good ground as well. He'll be a chaser who's very much on the upgrade now as well, with good ground hopefully being his ideal sort of surface going forward. He's a very strong traveller, and Bo rode Twig to superb style that day. Uttoxeter, a very good attacking, positive ride, very stylish as well. Twig done what he usually does. He tends to wander in front, jump in the last, but had plenty in the tank to pull away and win quite comfortably in the end. Luckily, post-race, Bo's language was kept clean this time, prior to a couple of weeks before, where Bo did use some rather colourful language after winning a race, which was quite funny, really. But it was great for Bo. Look, after how well Ben managed Luca over the course of last season, I can see it happening again here with Bo as well. Ben managed Luca superbly last season. He was a comfortable winner in the end of the championship last season as well. And look, with Ben's winter horses coming back into the fold, I can only see Bo flourishing. Bo built some good partnerships or good foundations with the likes of Sid Hosey and the recently retired Brian Barr. Brian Barr and Bo, during the peak of the summer months around Newton Abbott, are practically printing money effectively. They're having big price winners left, right, and centre. And it was a really good, successful, very potent combination around Newton Abbott at the time as well. But Bo's going to be a man in demand. I think he's exceptional value for his £5 claim, and he's my title prediction to go on to win the championship and provide the Morgan family with yet again a second successive champion conditional jockey as well. Now, moving into a couple of jockeys who I think £7 claimers who are very much ones to watch for me over the course of the winter months. Basically, £7 claimers who've yet to really ride too many winners, but ones who I feel are going to have a big sort of impact over the course of the winter. Jockeys who we only saw a small inkling of towards the back end of last season, but ones who I think will come out this season and really showcase themselves in the right way. The first one I'm going to talk about is a jockey based with Jamie Snowden. It's Will Featherstone. Will caught the eye a couple of times last season, only 2 career winners to his name so far, but a very strong, stylish young jockey who I think is going to make a big splash this season. Jamie's not been afraid to put him up over the course of last season as well, and I can see Jamie using him plenty over the course of the winter months. I can imagine that Will's going to get plenty of good outside ride as well. A jockey of his talent claiming £7, most trainers will want that on side effectively. And I can see Will really growing into this season. He's got a good attitude as well, very good rider, and he's very much one of my main ones to watch over the course of the winter months. I think he's going to have a very much a breakthrough season. So I'm keen to see how he gets on because he's a very much a talent who I think very highly of. And hopefully he can restore the faith put in by Jamie and have a good season going forward. Another young jockey to watch is Thomasina Easton. She is returning off the back of what was a horror injury towards the back end of last season. A broken ankle saw her out for a large chunk of the summer months as well. She came back only fairly recently, back with the winner as well at Worcester a couple of weeks ago as well. She's attached to the Neil Mulholland team. Neil's been very good to Thomasina over the course of the last season. Put her up plenty of times, plenty of support as well, some good winners too. And again, Thomasina is very strong in the finish. He makes a lovely shape over an obstacle. Very good judge of pace too is Thomasina. Very good on front running rides as well. And I can see her £7 claim being very much effective here. We saw the likes of Victoria Malzard, the Kansas City Chief, trained by Neil Mulholland, springing up at Cheltenham a couple of times over the last couple of years. So Neil's not afraid to use a conditional with one who he thinks is good enough. Thomasina Easton very much fits that mould. I think the injury's been put well back behind her now. It's all guns blazing going into the winter months, and she's very much another one to keep on your radars going forward. Another young jockey to watch is a very talented, very tidy young rider called Jay Tidball. Jay had a horror-fought banger a couple of weeks ago. Luckily, he's pulled out relatively unscathed. It could have gone really badly, actually. The fall was pretty much a very serious fall. But Jay really caught the eye a couple of times over the course of last season, attached to the Alistair Ralph stable. The thing I like most about Jay is he's a very tidy rider, makes a lovely shape over an obstacle, but he's very neat and tidy in the finish. You don't see much flapping about. It's all nice, all tucked in, and it's all very natural. It flows perfectly in unison with the horse. And Jay really caught the eye a couple of times last season. Again, like Bradley Harris, Jay shares the same agent as Bradley Harris with Ian Popham. Ian's got a fantastic book of jockeys on his radar this season in terms of just hopefully bringing them forward. Jay's one of those jockeys who I think will definitely go on to hopefully have a good season as well. He's attached to the Alistair Ralph stable as well. Alistair Ralph had a couple of good winners last season. So Jay's in a nice place to hopefully improve, get plenty of opportunities, and carry on that upward trajectory which he's been on over the last couple of seasons now. He's still got his £7 claim intact, which I think is very much good value as well coming into the main winter months, but very much another one to keep on your radar is Jay Tidball. Bruce Lynn caught the eye last season too, a northern-based jockey who seemed to fantastic effect last season aboard. I think it was Elvis Mail for Neil Alexander in the run up to Cheltenham at Kelso. I think that Elvis May actually refused to race at Cheltenham or something happened. I can't exactly remember what happened. But he came out at Kelso the following week or a couple of weeks after and absolutely bolted up. Bruce has had a fantastic season last year, went for his claim relatively quickly. Part of that claim still remains, but Bruce is another one to keep on your radar as well. A fantastic young talent based in the north. People always say that it's sometimes harder for Northern jockeys to sort of get noticed. I didn't feel that was the case last year, with the likes of Patrick Wodge and Bruce Lynn definitely leading the way in terms of top young Northern talent. I think the North's in a very healthy place in terms of its young jockeys. We've seen the likes of Lorcan Murta come through as well. He was attached to the Harry Fry stable most recently. Theo Gillard with another one as well, who's really flourished under the guidance of Donald McCain Jr. And he's been a fantastic talent as well. A couple of interesting ones going into the main season as well. Barra Davis has now moved to the Fergal O'Brien stable. He was with Ollie Murphy, spent a good chunk of his conditional period of time at Ollie Murphy's yard before making the move down to Ravenswell Farm to be attached to the Fergal. Darrow's another one who caught the eye last season, and I think with the ammunition that Fergal's got and the large mass and large growing numbers that Fergal tends to have now, Darrow's going to get plenty of opportunities, and it's very much another one to watch. I think he's still claiming the £7 too, is Darrow. So he's one to keep an eye on when Fergal puts him up, because if Fergal puts him up, I think we can see Darrow Davis in his enclosure over the course of the winter months as well. It promises to be a fantastic season as well. And any viewers who closely watched my apprentice jockeys to follow will have seen that I did pull up Billy Loughnane at the start of the season to win the championship. He was about 5-1 prior to the start of the season, which to me was a bit of a surprise, really, because as we've seen over the course of the last 10 months, Billy's been an absolute revelation. He's the champion apprentice elect. He's going to win the champion apprentice title. And I think he's probably the first jockey to win the all weather champion apprentice and the actual apprentice championship on the turf in the same season. I can't think of many jockeys or many young jockeys who managed to achieve both sort of titles within the same season. And it only goes to show how great an achievement that is for Billy. He's been very much the sort of star of the flat season in terms of a young jockey come through, and he's going to have a long, illustrious career. Should his weight govern that as well? A large part of his career now will determine for how long he can ride under 9 stone effectively, but he's going to have a great chance of doing that. And I wish him all the best going forward. But that will bring an end to my conditional jockeys to follow for the upcoming season. Look, it's going to be a great season ahead. Very much looking forward to it now. Looking forward to that good sort of transitional period between the flat winding down and the jumps getting started. So fingers crossed, everyone can enjoy themselves and the jump season can be very fruitful over the course of the winter months. Take care, guys.